There's a sentence I spent 70 years trying to say perfectly. Let me explain. I said it to people who'd already made up their minds. I said it to rooms that didn't want to hear it. I said it to people who were never going to understand no matter how carefully I chose my words. And it cost me years I'll never get back. I'm 94 now. I've buried most of the people I once bent over backwards to explain myself to. And if I could go back and hand my younger self one piece of wisdom, it wouldn't be about money, or health, or even love. It would be 4 words. You don't owe anyone an explanation, but it took me almost a lifetime to understand why. Let me take you back. When I was young, I believed something that quietly ran my whole life. I believed that if someone misunderstood me, it was my job to fix it. If they were angry, I explained. If they were hurt, I explained. If they thought the worst of me, I'd lie awake rehearsing the perfect words to make them see the truth. I thought explaining was how you kept people. I didn't know yet that some people don't want to understand you. They just want to be right about you. There was a man I worked under for nearly 12 years. I'll call him Walter. Walter kept a little notebook in his breast pocket, green cover worn at the corners. He wrote things down about people, and once he'd written you down, that was who you were to him, forever. He decided early who he thought I was, and nothing I said ever changed a word on that page. I explained. I defended. I stayed late proving myself. I built my case like a lawyer who'd never get his day in court. I could have talked for 100 years. The page never changed, because a person who has already decided who you are isn't listening. They're just waiting for you to stop talking. It took me years to learn that, and here's the harder truth underneath it. Every time I over-explained, I was really asking permission. Permission to be believed, permission to be trusted, permission to be who I already was. I was handing strangers the power to approve of me, and a man who needs approval to feel at peace will never be at peace. Now here's where my story turns. My daughter was getting married, a small wedding in a garden late in the afternoon, and a relative, someone I'd spent years trying to win over, leaned in close and said something cruel about me, quiet enough that only I heard it, sharp enough that I felt it in my chest. The old me would have followed her, cornered her, explained. But something in me had finally grown tired, so I did something I had never done in my whole life. I said nothing. I looked at her for a moment. Then I turned, walked back across the grass, and I took my daughter's hand, and I danced. No defense, no speech. My shoes in the cut grass, my girl laughing, the music going. And here's what shocked me. The world didn't end. Nobody thought less of me. If anything, they thought more. Because that day I learned something simple. Silence is a boundary you don't have to justify. That was the beginning of the most peaceful chapter of my life. Let me tell you what walking away actually teaches you. Because it's more than manners, it's survival. The first thing, not every accusation deserves a response. Defend yourself against every little thing, and you turn small comments into big battles. You give oxygen to fires that would have died on their own. The second thing is harder. Explaining yourself to the wrong person is like reading poetry to someone with their hands over their ears. The words don't matter. They stopped listening before you opened your mouth. Save your voice for the people who lean in, not the ones who lean away. The third thing took me the longest. Every time you walk away without explaining, you tell yourself something quietly. I know who I am, and that's enough. You stop letting every raised eyebrow rewrite your story, and a strength grows in you, the kind that doesn't need an audience. I had a friend named Ruth. gentle woman kept a tin of butterscotch candies in her purse for every child she met. She spent the last years of her life explaining herself to a family that had already turned cold. She wrote letters. She made calls. She rehearsed apologies for things she never did. They never softened, not once. She died still explaining, still believing the next set of words would finally be the right ones. I think about her often because that could have been me. That very nearly was. The difference wasn't that I found better words. The difference was that I finally stopped needing them. Now, let me be careful here. Walking away isn't about becoming cold. It isn't about cutting off everyone who disagrees with you or refusing to work things out with the people who love you. The people who love you, you talk to them. You stay. This is about the others, the ones who've already closed the door and are just waiting to watch you knock. For them, your silence isn't rudeness, it's wisdom. And there's a freedom in it I wish I could put straight into your hands. The freedom of not defending yourself to someone who was never fair to begin with. The freedom of letting people think what they'll think and walking on anyway. The freedom of a quiet mind at the end of a long day because you didn't spend it fighting battles that were never yours to win. I'm 94. I explained myself to 1,000 people who never deserved the effort. And the deepest peace I ever found came the day I finally stopped. So if you're carrying the weight of people who misunderstand you, people who twisted your words, people you keep hoping to finally win over, let an old man tell you the truth. You don't have to. You don't have to chase them. You don't have to correct them. You don't have to hand them one more explanation they were never going to accept. You are allowed to simply walk away quietly with your head up and your peace intact. Because some silences are the loudest thing a person can say. I spent 70 years learning that. I'm giving it to you today so you don't have to wait as long as I did. The next time someone demands an explanation you don't owe, just walk. And keep the rest of your life for the people and the peace that were always worth it. If something I said tonight found its way to a tender place in you, do an old man a kindness, pass it along to someone who's worn themselves thin, explaining to people who never listened. They may need to hear it more than you know. And if you'd like to sit with me again, stay close, follow along, and these stories will keep finding you. Then tell me down in the comments what you're carrying and what story you'd like this old voice to tell next. I'll be here.